Unbelievable scene. Why did BTS Jin cry so hard at Kim Se-ron's funeral? No one expected the mourning silence of Seoul to be shattered by a headline so shocking it froze the entertainment world in disbelief. Actress Kim Se-ron found dead at her residence. Within hours, images of BTS's Jin and Jungkook arriving at the funeral site flooded every platform, their faces pale and eyes red with tears. But what truly stunned everyone wasn't just their presence, it was their visible devastation. Why did these global stars break down so deeply? What connection tied them to Kim Se-ron beyond the surface of celebrity circles? As cameras flashed, millions of fans across the globe watched in silence. Some wept, others questioned everything. Was this raw grief, or a performance shaped by the merciless expectations of fame? In a culture where appearances can define truth, the boundaries between emotion and image have become dangerously thin. Could this be one of those moments where sorrow becomes spectacle? The sudden death of Kim Se-ron, young, talented, and just rising again after years of controversy, has reignited an uncomfortable discussion about the mental toll of the South Korean entertainment industry. Behind the perfect smiles, scripted gestures, and carefully curated personas, is there an unseen suffering that fans often ignore? Or is this yet another example of how tragedy becomes a headline designed to attract sympathy, clicks, and attention? When Jin stepped out of the black van, dressed in a simple suit, witnesses described his demeanor as broken. His eyes refused to meet the cameras. Jungkook, beside him, trembled slightly before bowing to the family. The air was thick, heavy with questions. How close were they to Kim Se-ron? Were they friends, confidants, or something more personal that the public never knew? And then there was actor Kim Soo-hyun, who appeared moments later, his expression unreadable yet haunting. Three of Korea's biggest stars, standing at the same place, mourning the same woman. Was it coincidence, or the unveiling of something deeper? Social media erupted instantly. Theories poured in, secret friendships, hidden relationships, even conspiracies suggesting that this entire narrative was orchestrated to manipulate public sentiment. Could it be true? Or is such cynicism simply the product of a world where truth and fiction blur under the weight of endless digital storytelling? Still, one cannot deny the haunting authenticity in Jin's expression. His tears weren't those of a performer, they seemed involuntary, almost painful to watch. And yet, even sincerity is no longer immune to skepticism. In today's hyper-documented world, every emotion is dissected, questioned, and repackaged for public consumption. Was this genuine heartbreak, or just another scene in an ever-evolving media drama? The public's confusion only deepened when medical reports revealed that the cause of Kim Se-ron's death had not been fully disclosed. Some speculated self-inflicted harm, others whispered about foul play or exhaustion. Her agency urged everyone to refrain from speculation until the investigation concluded. But by then, speculation had already become the story. Jin's silence since that day has fueled even more curiosity. Why hasn't he spoken publicly about it? Why does Jungkook appear visibly withdrawn in his recent public appearances? Fans insist it's grief. Critics argue it's strategy. Who should we believe? And do we even have the right to demand explanations from people who are also human beings behind the fame? Perhaps the most disturbing part of this entire event isn't the mystery itself, but our reaction to it. We, the audience, crave authenticity, yet we doubt it when it appears before us. We want to empathize, but we also want to analyze. And in doing so, we turn grief into entertainment. So the real question becomes, are we mourning Kim Se-ron or consuming her tragedy? This paradox defines modern celebrity culture. Every tear becomes a headline, every silence becomes a theory, and every emotion becomes a product. The deaths of young stars in South Korea, each more shocking than the last, reveal a recurring pattern of immense pressure, mental fatigue, and emotional isolation. But even as we acknowledge these realities, why do we continue to demand perfection from those already breaking under the spotlight? Jin's trembling shoulders at the funeral may have been a moment of pure human sorrow. Or perhaps, as some claim, it was a carefully framed image, one that the industry, knowingly or not, uses to sustain its own emotional economy. And here lies the uncomfortable truth. We can't be sure anymore. So, what do you believe? Do you think this event truly reflects an authentic moment of grief? Or is it a crafted narrative, a performance designed to stir emotion and strengthen public empathy? Are we witnesses to tragedy or participants in an elaborate illusion created by a system that knows our weakness for drama? The truth may never fully surface. But what's undeniable is that Kim Se-ron's death has left a mark far deeper than headlines and hashtags. It has exposed the fragility of fame, the hunger of the audience, and the eerie spectacle of sorrow in the digital age. Whether this was real pain or orchestrated sentiment, the question remains, have we, as viewers, lost the ability to tell the difference? Would you like me to make this version slightly more emotional and cinematic, or more formal and journalistic, like a real media feature? Absolutely. Here's a continuation, around 5,000 characters, written in the same academic yet dramatic journalistic style, expanding on your previous article. This section deepens the reflection, provokes thought, and repeatedly challenges readers to question what's real versus what's constructed. The shock surrounding Kim Se-ron's passing, and the overwhelming emotional reaction from figures like BTS's Jin and Chaeun-woo continues to echo through every corner of social media. Yet, amid the flood of sympathy and speculation, one fundamental question remains unanswered. Do we truly know what happened? Or have we become prisoners of a narrative carefully woven by the invisible hands of the media? It's almost instinctive today. A headline appears, emotions surge, and opinions form within seconds. But do we pause to ask, is this fact or fabrication? The internet is both a window and a weapon. It offers us access to stories, but also blinds us with endless interpretations. When videos of Jin crying surfaced on TikTok and clips of Chaeun-woo bowing deeply circulated on Twitter, millions instantly declared it proof of heartbreak. But can viral emotion ever serve as evidence of truth? Or are we merely watching the edited fragments of a larger illusion? Consider this. In an era dominated by views, clicks, and trends, every event is susceptible to distortion. Could Kim Se-ron's death, tragic as it seems, be subtly repackaged to serve an agenda larger than her own life? Could the sorrow of those around her, genuine or not, be transformed into fuel for engagement, publicity, and renewed public attention? These are uncomfortable questions, but ones we must ask if we wish to separate authenticity from artistry in a world obsessed with image. Think carefully. When a celebrity cries on camera, what do we see? Grief, yes, but also spectacle. The camera immortalizes not only emotion, but also performance. Jin's visible anguish might be real, yet our perception of it is mediated by angles, edits, and repetition. Every tear becomes content. Every sigh a symbol. And before long, sorrow itself becomes a